we have to my left, Mr. Eugene Davis. He is our director of the commissary. He's new, but not new to Fort Irwin. He was here before. He did a little overseas assignment, and now he's back. And then to his left is Sergeant Chris Gonzalez from our vet services, who's one of our food inspectors. So, gentlemen, how's it going today?
Good, sir. Yeah. 2 more days closer to Friday.
What's that?
2 more days closer to Friday.
2 more days closer to Friday. Yeah. And are you guys doing a Don's on Friday for the Veterans Day weekend?
To be determined, sir.
To be determined. All right. So Gene, now that you're back in the swing of things at Fort Irwin Commissary, how are things going over there?
Things are going good. Things are going better every day.
All right. So we have 2 significant events coming up in about 10 days from now. One is the power outage on the 19th.
Welcome back.
That's right, our annual fun show, and then shortly thereafter Thanksgiving. So I know we've had some concerns from the community about when do I buy my turkey? Is there going to be enough turkeys? What kind of food shortages are out there? Is it healthy to have my turkey in the freezer to thaw, when the power goes out and all that, those kind of questions. So we're going to ask you a few things and just let us know what you think and how we can better prepare our community. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
Sure.
So I guess the first question up front is, will we have enough turkeys for Thanksgiving?
Sir, yes, sir. It all depends, and that's one of the amazing things of Fort Irwin is we have this community that's very mobile and stuff. So we're going to have a down week or opportunity leave. So how many people are leaving, how many are staying? But as of right now, we have plenty of turkeys, and we should have turkeys. And actually, I know if we run short, I'll get in the truck and drive elsewhere to find turkeys. But I know Barstow has more turkeys than they can handle this year.
Okay, great. Now my second question then is, if I buy my turkey before the power outage, is my turkey safe in my freezer?
Well, so usually when you buy your turkey, it's usually frozen, and inside your freezer, depending on how large your freezer is, that thing is frozen solid, and it's more than capable of just outlasting the outage. Usually they get it fixed pretty quick, so it should be pretty safe in the freezer so long as you just limit the amount of time you open it. And if you need be, you get some of that free ice and just help keep it real chilly in there.
Yeah, so we'll have free ice at the PX commissary parking lot. There'll be a big trailer there for people to get their ice the day before. So please take advantage of the opportunity. So plenty of turkeys. I buy my turkey ahead of time because I'm scared I may run out of turkeys after the power outage. It's perfectly safe in my freezer.
Yes,
So
sir.
as long as I don't keep my freezer open the entire day.
Correct,
Right?
yes.
Just keep it closed. Go in there when you get something and close it back up.
Correct, yeah. You want that thing to stay frozen. You don't want it to thaw out unless you're going to cook it right then and there as soon as it's done thawing out.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's my next question is, how long does it take to thaw out my turkey?
It just depends on the size. There's different sizes, different weights to each turkey. You could just plan accordingly. Like, for example, for myself, usually we get about a 15-pound bird, and we'll put it out usually maybe about 2 days before. I thaw it out in the fridge. I leave it in there. Usually the fridge is set to about 35, 36 degrees, and I let it thaw out in there slowly.
Okay.
Yeah, sir, I'll add to that. The other method of doing that is to do it in a tub or a sink in water, because the water becomes the temperature of the outside surface of the turkey. So the water becomes cold, and that's a faster method. But you never want to use warm water or hot water. We've had people that have done that and come back and said their turkeys were terrible, and then they said that they used warm water and that whole process, it does 2 things. It cooks the bird in warm water or hot water, and then the second process that it does is you're growing bacteria, because there's a safe zone for bacteria, or a dangerous zone for bacteria actually. And it's 40 degrees to 140 degrees, and anything in that, you're at risk. So you really want to thaw it in a refrigerator for multiple days, or do it in cold water, and it just absorbs the water.
And there's usually, depending on the type of how big the turkey is, there's usually instructions like thaw out this many hours for this many pounds or something along those lines, right?
Correct.
Yes, sir. The internet is your friend.
Yeah, YouTube, right? So with that, do I cook my turkey as soon as it's thawed, or can I keep it, like, let's say I use the water method, right? Put in the water until basically the water becomes room temperature, showing that my turkey is all thawed out. should I cook it right then and there? Or can I put it in the refrigerator till the next day in case it's one more day until it's time to cook it? What's the rule of thumb on that?
I believe it's just the temperature that you hold your turkey at, and it just depends on as well as how you prepare your turkey. Some people like to brine it, so it's in salt. Some people use vinegar, so that also changes the preservative of it, the how you preserve the bird. But typically, if you're gonna thaw it out, usually it's best to just cook it then and there as quickly as you can, because like you said, the temperature danger zone between 40 and 145 degrees, you're just putting yourself and others at risk. So.
Okay. So with that, is there any? This is almost turned into a cooking class. I think we need that Rachel Ray over here. So there's a whole bunch of ways to do it. You talked about brine and stuff. Like, what about stuffing your turkey or deep frying your turkey and stuff like that?
Well, if you're gonna stuff your turkey, I would just recommend that you cook it low and slow, because if you cook it too fast, as most people know, you're gonna just cook the outside of it, but the inside will still it'll stay raw. So just cook it low and slow, and just continue to check it, and make sure that internal temperature of that turkey reaches 165.
All right, what do you got there, Gene?
Sir, these are digital thermometers for meat, and they're just one of the things that every kitchen should have, because anytime you cook meat, you really want that temperature to be 165, or poultry, I should say, 165 in the thickest part of the meat. You don't want to stick this in where there's a bone, because the bone will be hotter sometimes. But just the highest recommendation go for these. And actually on the back of them, they have a chart for all the different meats if you want something that you can cook medium rare, like a steak or whatever. It has those temperatures as well. But great tools to have in your kitchen.
All right. And so after the turkey is cooked, how long are leftovers usually good for?
Typically, I would say not to exceed 5 days, unless you you decide to freeze some of that meat. You should be good. Even after you thaw it out, I'd recommend you consuming it within at least 24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
But anything exceeding 5 days, you kind of again putting yourself at risk.
And within 2 hours of your meal, you should make sure that you put all of your stuff into the refrigerator and not leave it out and watch the Cowboys football game. And because the same thing is that it's that temperature zone that you want to stay out of. So within 2 hours, you should put it in shallow dishes and within your refrigerator, and that way it gets cold faster, because if you put something like mashed potatoes in a big giant bowl, the center of that mashed potatoes is still going to be warm for hours later, and could become dangerous as well. So
okay. Other shortages. Do we have any concerns? We got plenty of turkeys. What about like potatoes and pumpkin pie stuff?
As of now,
that
everything
nature.
looks very solid, sir. It seems like everything's coming in. We've got a lot of pumpkin. Last year there was a pumpkin shortage, which was actually from the pumpkin crop the year before. But yeah, everything looks like it's coming in pretty good, and we'll just continue to monitor those as we go along, and keep the community informed on that.
Okay. Before I close you guys out and bring on our housing folks, anything else you want to communicate to the Fort Irwin population for the upcoming Thanksgiving season, or the food, taking care of perishables and things like that with the power outage?
As far as as Thanksgiving, I know everyone likes to, some people like to partake in drinking and having a good time. I just say don't forget about your food that you leave out. Just be careful. Make sure if you're all done, everyone's done. Make sure you just set it and refrigerate it. Just don't forget to do that so you guys don't whisk food poisoning.
Okay.
I've got a couple things, sir. I have the fact that we're having a power outage. The commissary is going to operate normal hours. In the past, we've changed our hours to accommodate the power outage, but we have a generator, so we're going to operate normal hours for the community, because we used to close earlier because of the power outage, but then the families came back later in the afternoon. Yeah. So we will be open for you, for the community. And the one last thing that I wanted to say was reach out to your single soldiers and your neighbors that you might not be that friendly with during these holiday seasons, because it's a really good time to connect and take care of those people.
Do we have a lot of I see the commissaries in the past, like they put buy stuff for needy families and stuff like that. Do we have that program still?
We have several things going on with the community, with the chaplain and with MWR, that are going to be setting up some meal programs for the holidays and stuff. Sold a lot of individual groups gift cards, which they're going to distribute for the holidays. So yes, we're going to support them, but it's just one of those things that
Okay.
the fellowship is really good during the holidays as well.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is I can actually go shopping on the 19th, which is November 19th, which is the power outage, buy my Thanksgiving turkey, put it directly in my freezer with the power being on, I'm still okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just want to make sure. And I know there was a question out there earlier, can I deep fry my turkey at Fort Irwin? Yes, you can deep fry your turkey. Do it outside. Do not do it in your house, because if there's grease and oil spillage, one, you probably have to pay for those damages, but two, that can cause fire and then burn down your home. So do it outside, safe distance away from your home, about 50 feet, and you should be good. And yes, deep fried turkeys are delicious. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you, Sergeant Major. Any questions that I might have
Nope.
missed?
Great tips. I appreciate it. You know, my freezer runs on propane, so I'm not too worried about it.
All
It's
right.
good. I think everybody will be totally ready for the holiday and eat some good food.
All right. Well,
Definitely.
appreciate you guys coming on the show, and we'll be right back with housing. All right. Well, welcome back. We have Brittany Bolton with us today. Brittany, how you doing?
I'm doing good, yeah.
Good. So Brittany is part of our Army housing team here. So for those that are not familiar, you have the villages at Michaels, right? That's our privatized housing partners. And then you have the Army Housing Office. They work for the garrison. And then and Brittany's part of that team. But Brittany did work for Michaels before. Yeah. And so this year we've just kicked off, it's been about 2 weeks, on the 25th of October, we just kicked off our annual tenant survey. And we brought Brittany in to kind of give us a bit more information about that. So, Brittany, what is the Army Tenant Survey?
The Army Tenant Survey is the residents' opportunity to let anybody know of any changes or improvements, suggestions that they have for themselves. Dude, I can't. I'm so bad at this.
Keep it going, keep going.
I
All right, we'll
can't.
stop. We can start.
All I do is get
Can we edit where I say, Brittany, what is the Army Tenant Survey?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So the Army.
Wait for him to give us a go. Or
We're still
rolling, so Okay. let's
go
Yeah.
all right,
Okay.
you ready? All right, you ready?
All right.
All right.
So the Army Tenant Survey, that is for the residents. It's their ability to make changes and improvements for the quality of life here at Fort Irwin, for not only for themselves but for future residents as well.
Okay.
So then why? So it's their opportunity to have a voice.
It
basically,
is.
right?
Yes.
So do we have any changes that we've made here based off of past surveys?
Yes. So we've done, kitchen upgrades. We've done lighting upgrades, or they have done the parks. They've added quite a few new parks, improved parks in the neighborhoods.
Well, that's good. So people need to understand how important it is that they actually
Yes.
do the survey,
Yes.
because they see the direct results
Correct.
based off of those surveys.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have all those parks if people didn't
Yes.
say they wanted parks, right?
That's the so what factor, right?
Yeah.
So have your voice be heard, and
Mhm.
and so where does this information go? If you fill out the survey, where does that information go?
It's gonna go to the big Army. It's gonna get passed down through back to Fort Irwin.
Okay. It's all good. So and I
I'm
know,
over
like
that.
from last year, I read every single. I didn't read the questionnaires, but I read every single survey and input that a resident put on when they took the survey, right? Because there's an opportunity to, like, it's a questionnaire of like how good is the quality of whatever, and you can rate it 1 to 5, or really good or not really good. But there's also an opportunity for a comment, and I read
Yes.
every one of those comments, which I thought was really important for me, because then I can talk with our housing partner and say, hey, 50% of the people have said they need new fixtures in their bathroom, so that's got to get on the out your development plan, which this ultimately feeds into, right?
Right.
So
How long does it take to actually do this survey?
5 minutes tops.
Okay.
It's not long at all.
So not a significant investment in time for
No.
some great
No.
results, right?
Correct.
So if they have not gotten the survey yet, what should people be looking for? Because I've had several tell
Right.
me that they have not gotten the survey.
First step, if it's not in your email, it comes from the CEL. It's Army Housing Survey at CEL Associates. If it is not in your email regular inbox, then your next step would be to check the spam box. If it is not in your spam box, there is an email that you can contact. It is armyhousingsurvey@celassociates.com. Let them know and give them your email, and they will get that survey to you.
And I think it's important people know also that it goes to the leaseholder.
Yes, the main
So,
leaseholder on
'cause
the account.
it's been a lot of spouses that have asked me, because
Yes.
they normally do those kind of things.
Mhm.
And, it probably went to their spouse and they just
Correct.
never
Yep.
looked at it. Because
Yeah.
they will only send out one email per household.
That does
correct?
happen, yeah. Also, anybody who moved in after September 30th of this year, they will not get that either. So the cutoff was September 30th and before that.
All right. I think what is our goal? I think last year our goal was like 25 to 30%, and we just surpassed that. I think last year. What is the goal of responses that we need this year? Carlos didn't say. All right. Well, let's shoot for 50% as a
Yes,
community. I think
50%
if
would
we can
be-
get 50%, that really helps drive the data points, right? So we have approximately 2,600 homes here. That's 1,300 responses. I know we did a great job.
Mhm.
The leasing partner did a great job, kind of going door to door, putting in flyers, reminding everybody. I will post the links to the survey and emails and everything down below. But I thought it was really good that we actually did really well as an installation. We surpassed a majority of other installations on the percentage wise. That's I think for a community, I think we can beat that again this year. So and again, I do a lot of reading, right? I read every ICE comment, which has a lot of housing stuff, and it's a lot, generally very positive. And I read all these comments as well, so it does help me determine and help drive the housing partner to take the commitment to invest in these different areas. That's a concern for the community.
Yes.
And our housing partner is offering some incentives to communities,
Yes.
right? They got a little competition going.
So I'm not 100% what they have for their competition as far as the villages going, but I know that the CEL survey, they are doing a random drawing of emails, and they have some prizes for that as well.
Okay. And Michael's also the top 3 communities is going to be doing some special things for those communities. Here on Fort Irwin specifically for the entire mayoral community.
Yeah.
So if Bitter Springs, for instance, this year has the highest percentage, Michael's going to be doing some stuff for them. So
All right.
some community parties.
Yes. It's also important, though, for these surveys for everybody to give the good and the bad. Let us know what is working well in your community, in the neighborhoods, and then also, what's not working and what can be improved, too.
Yeah, just don't say, I hate living here. Tell us why you hate living here, right?
Mhm.
Or what you love about living here. That'd be really good feedback. Or recommendations if you have an issue about something. So, but all right. Well, thanks for coming. Again, we'll post that
Thank you.
information. Check your email if you check your email. If it's not there, check your spam mail. And if it's not there, we'll post the link down below so you can get to it. Anything else you want to add?
I think I'm good.
All right. Well, thanks, Brittany.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back. So today we had the team on to talk about what to do with the food and everything. A couple weeks ago we had Mr. Schoenberger on there to talk about what to do with like overall concerns with power outages. So make sure, a couple tips, right? Unplug your TVs and computers so that way if the power does come on, it doesn't short out any of your electronics. So just keep those safeguards in place. It's always a good idea to have a surge protector for all your stuff as it is. And I know when they went around and did the lights, the housing team, when they went around reading the lights, they actually gave residents an approved power surge strip. So that was nice.
Yeah.
We're going to post a bunch of things in the message below on timelines and things like that for the power outage as we get closer. Don't forget, next week on the 15th of November at 10 o'clock is our next community town hall. And we're going to have the team on there to tell you what services are going to be on, where to go get ice, when to get ice, and things of that nature. But for the community that is not going to attend that, but's watching this, just know that like if you live in the barracks, your workspace and your housing is probably going to be all turned off. But the life support systems, the hospital, the PX, the commissary, Starbucks, because yes, that is a life support for some people, will be powered. Okay, the 24-hour shop at will have gas and will be on. So a lot of the facilities will be on during the power outage for things to do for the community. It's going to be the power's going to go out at 6 o'clock in the morning and come on around 2000 or 8 p.m. And if it comes on earlier, all the better. If it doesn't come on by 2000 or 8 p.m., we will get on Facebook and let you guys know what's going on. All right.
Yep.
So we have a lot of Veterans Day things coming up this weekend.
We
A
do.
ton, and a lot of Thanksgiving giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a few. We have, don't forget, check out the QR code and check out all the different things. But we have AUSA. Thanks to them, they're going to give out 100 tickets to the LA Kings game for the 10th and the 12th of November.
Yep.
On the 11th of November, they will also be taking 150 soldiers to a paid lunch at BJ's before attending the USC or University of Southern California football game. So that's fantastic.
Yep. And with that one, that's open to family members also.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So
So-
150 tickets for soldiers and families.
Yes.
Transportation.
Transportation's provided, and they get a free lunch at BJ's Brew House on the way.
Oh man, how do they register for that?
So they need to email our local AUSA chapter. It's highdesertausa@gmail.
Okay.
That link is going to be posted
Oh, okay.
here also for
Awesome.
everyone.
I'm not a big USC Trojan fan,
Yeah.
but I do like free football and free food.
Yep.
And free transportation.
On a charter bus, so
Yeah.
it's a nice smooth ride.
Yep. And if the USC is not your team and UNLV is or Fresno State is, MWR has free tickets for the UNLV versus Fresno at the Allegiant Stadium up in Las Vegas, which we went there for the Air Force game. What a fantastic stadium! That place is cool. Yeah. So again, a whole bunch of free things. For those families that are in need of a little assistance during Thanksgiving, we have a couple opportunities. One, on Thursday, the 10th of November, so tomorrow, at the Army Field House, or Army Field, sorry, MWR will be giving out 100 free Thanksgiving meal boxes, which will include a $40 gift card that Gene was talking about for the commissary. And so that is from a nonprofit organization called For Families of Active Military. They're a huge supporter. They were just here this past weekend helping us decorate the town center. So what a great nonprofit organization there and supporting our families. And if cooking Thanksgiving is not your thing, and if you want a free ride to Yorba Belinda and free Thanksgiving, For Families of Active Military is hosting 100 soldiers and family members in Yorba Belinda at their community center for a free Thanksgiving meal. And it was, you and I went last year. It was great, right?
It was a really good meal.
So everything's free. There is adult beverages that's free. There was a boat ride after the end of the meal, games and football before the meal, and it was a great opportunity for soldiers to get out that either live in the barracks or maybe not big on cooking turkey Thanksgiving dinner.
Transportation's provided to that also.
Yep. So a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of opportunities. Busy holiday
couple
season.
weeks coming up.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. We're already halfway.
We didn't even get into the Christmas stuff yet.
Yeah. We're not even halfway through Thanksgiving, and it already seems like there's so much stuff going on.
Yep.
But we'll put that information down below and how you can get the tickets and the information for the trip to the Thanksgiving dinner at Yorba Belinda.
Yep.
How are you doing your Thanksgiving this year?
I'm not sure. I've never tried deep frying a turkey. I've always kind of wanted to. Because normally I get an oven bag.
Yeah.
And bake it. But I don't know. I might get a turkey fryer and give it a try.
I think you should. Let me know.
See if I'm hospitalized the week after.
Yeah, I'll head out there and watch you do it.
Yeah.
I'll have the fire extinguisher on standby.
Yeah, I need it.
All right.
What about you?
I do what my wife tells me to do.
That's always a good plan.
Usually I watch football. She cooks dinner. She usually yells at me for being in the kitchen. But she makes the best spread. I probably gained about 10 pounds, but she does a full spread. She has big Thanksgiving turkey, stuffing, mac and cheese, green bean casserole, and a couple different desserts. So If your fried turkey blows up on you,
Yeah.
after you see
I gotta back
the
up.
docs in the ER, come on over. We'll have plenty of food.
That'll work.
Yeah. So I think we have a couple questions from the audience. So what do we got here? So the question is there going to be a Thanksgiving meal at the dining facility, and can families come? So the answer is yes, right?
Yep.
You will see guys that look like us, dressed in our fancy clothes, serving food to the community on the 23rd of November from 11 o'clock until 2 p.m. And yes, families are welcome at all of our dining facilities. So it doesn't have to be just Thanksgiving. They can go tomorrow if they want to. And then the day before, so the 23rd is Wednesday. On the 22nd, at the 11th ACR dining facility, they're doing the same thing. So you can actually get 3, if you play your cards right, you can get 3 Thanksgiving meals in a row for very cheap on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Yep.
So,
And if you've never had it at a dining facility, I recommend going to one of those because they really do a great job for Thanksgiving.
yeah, for sure. But I think that's all we got.
Yep,
Any other questions out there?
I think we're good.
All right. Well, that's a wrap. And until next time, this is Beyond the Box.